We have a huge update. As we reported earlier, Karl-Anthony Towns has a broken bone in his left hand. And because of that, his status for tonight's game 4 was in doubt. However, the Knicks and Karl-Anthony Towns recently made a decision on his availability for tonight's game. And while the decision is shocking, it's not surprising, given who Karl-Anthony Towns is and what he said after game 3 about being available for his team. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. But before we get started, about 52% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. Karl-Anthony Towns makes a decision on his game 4 availability. Karl-Anthony Towns is one of the most important players on this team, given his size and his skill set. However, we all saw what happened during game 3. He injured his left hand, and then he looked at the Knicks bench and he said he broke a bone in his hand. Though after the game, he wouldn't comment much on the injury. All he said after the game was, "It is what it is. I'm going to keep finding ways to play, so I ain't tripping." He said this to NBA insider with The Athletic, Fred Katz. When he was asked if he underwent x-rays, he said the following: "I'm going to let them tell you that." Basically saying, I'm going to let the Knicks medical staff tell you about all the Knicks injuries because I'm not going to say anything about it. Just saying what he said here, it is what it is. That basically means he is confirming he does have an injury in that left hand. It is likely a broken bone, but he's not going to use it as an excuse. He's not going to talk about it. He just said it is what it is, basically indicating he's going to play through it. And if you look at the recent injury report that was released by the Knicks, that's exactly what he's going to do, because on the injury report, there are no Knicks players listed. Shout out to NBA insiders Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News, Steph Bondy with the New York Post, and New York Basketball on the app X for giving us all of the following information here. So as you can see there, the Knicks list 0 injuries for game 4. Steph Bondy with the New York Post also reported Karl-Anthony Towns, who appeared to hurt his finger yesterday, is not on the injury report for tonight's game 4 against the Celtics. And even Christian Winfield from the New York Daily News gave us this following update about Karl-Anthony Towns. And after reading it, you are a little bit more hopeful. According to him, Karl-Anthony Towns was a full participant in the Knicks practice today after injuring his finger in game 3. He is expected to play in game 4. Towns played through a thumb injury during the season and still found ways to impact wins without volume threes. New York needs whatever he has to give them. And I absolutely agree with that. The Knicks are not going to have a chance in beating the Boston Celtics without Karl-Anthony Towns being more impactful. But as you can see here, Karl-Anthony Towns, even though he likely has a broken bone in that left hand, he was a full participant in practice. He is not on the injury report, and he is active and available for tonight's game 4 against the Boston Celtics. However, let me say this. Just because he's not on the injury report, just like how Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson are not on the injury report, does that mean the Knicks are fully healthy? That the players are not banged up? That's not at all what it means. These players are dealing with injuries in their own ways. Now, they're not using it as an excuse. They're not going to complain about it. They're not going to say, "Hey, coach, take me out of the game. I'm too injured." You want to know why? It's the postseason. And during the postseason, most teams have the following mentality. Tape it up if you can, put whatever you can on it, and go out there and be as impactful as you can be for your team. Karl-Anthony Towns, clearly, he'll do whatever it takes if it means the Knicks can get another win. And I definitely respect that, and I'm praising that. However, you also have to think about it this way. What type of Karl-Anthony Towns are we going to get? Is he going to be impactful? Is he going to look the same? Are other players going to target that hand like they did to Steph Curry? We all remember that. I'm not saying anything about what other players are going to do against Towns, but let me say this. I think one of the main reasons Towns didn't say anything about the injury that he clearly has is because if he says something about it, if he announces it, that just puts a target on him and that hand. And he doesn't want to do that either. So right now, probably the best course of action is to not say anything and just say, I'm good, I'm here, and I'm available. And essentially, that's what he said. But I know what you're also worried about, the Boston Celtics. What about KP? What about their roster? Are they fully healthy? Well, don't worry. I have you covered with that too. Shout out to New York Basketball for giving us this information as well. The only person that is listed on the Boston Celtics injury report is Sam Hauser. And now, instead of being doubtful, which he was for Game 3, for tonight's Game 4, he is questionable. So that likely means the Boston Celtics are going to be fully healthy going into tonight's game. Before we get back to today's show, I want to give a special thanks to today's sponsor, MyBookie. The NBA playoffs have officially begun. Whether you're cheering for the Knicks or you're watching any other series going on, MyBookie helps you score big on every three-pointer, every monster slam, and every buzzer beater. Place bets live as the action unfolds. And if you're feeling confident, MyBookie's quick cash out option lets you lock in your winnings early. If you're new to MyBookie, use promo code MM50 to instantly boost your first deposit. Deposit $50, get an extra $25 back. Deposit $100, get an extra $50 back. And when the playoffs are completed, MyBookie's casino gives you even more opportunities to win with slots, blackjack, roulette, and more. It never stops. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And now, let's get back to the show. Will Towns be limited? If he is limited, we're going to need others to step up. And remember, we saw what he did during Game 3. He was not that efficient, likely due to some pain with that hand. And a lot of people are telling me, it's his non-shooting hand. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter? I understand it's his non-shooting hand, but does that mean it's not going to hurt him? It's going to hurt him less? He's still going to be dealing with pain even though he's playing the game. So we all have to understand that. Non-shooting hand is one thing, but he's still going to be in pain during the game. And pain is always going to throw you off. You have to understand that. And if we understand that Towns is going to be limited, what does that mean? That means we need the others to step up. And I'm looking at a couple of players when I'm saying this. OG Anunoby, we need a monster game from him. Mikal Bridges, while efficient, we need him to do more and more consistently. We need him to be aggressive more, attack more, help this team more, especially if he's that efficient from the field. I think the last game he was 6 for 10. If you're shooting and you're actually efficient, then you have to shoot a little bit more. You have to create. You have to be aggressive, especially if your three-point shot is not there. Attack and get to the line. We know Mikal is capable of this, but we need to see him answer the call, especially if Karl-Anthony Towns is not available in the same way we need him, if he's going to be limited. But the next upgrade that we need, the next person that we need to step up is really on our bench. It's the counter to the Celtics' Peyton Pritchard, and it's Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride has not been the Deuce McBride that we need all postseason long. We have not had that bench player, that X factor like we need. If we get Deuce McBride playing at an elite level, the levels we were seeing during the season, this Knicks team elevates to being a better team because now you keep McBride out there a little bit longer. You rest your starters a little bit more. You have fresher legs going into the fourth quarter. You see how everything is connected? Because it is. And one last thing, something that we saw, I think, in the third quarter of game 3 that we need to see run more throughout the entire game. Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson, lob. It was amazing. It looked good. It looked efficient. It helps the team. It helps the players. It probably gives Mitchell Robinson more confidence to roll with more aggression, more believability, and that makes the team you're playing against throw more defenders at him. And even though you don't want him at the line a lot, given the way he shoots free throws, you want the Celtics in foul trouble. And I'm always going to take that. And on a lob, he's catching that lob. With the strength that he has, he's likely going to finish and go to the line. Tom Thibodeau, use it a few more times. See what happens, because you might like the result. And if you like the result, maybe you go to it a couple of more times. It looks good. It works. The lob threat could be in effect for tonight's game 4. And I really hope it is, because in my opinion, I think it helps the Knicks. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks reporting 0 injuries for game 4 and Karl-Anthony Towns fully participating in yesterday's Knicks practice? Even though, using the eye test, we all can pretty much understand that Karl-Anthony Towns and a few other Knicks players, they're not fully healthy. They're banged up, but they're not complaining. They're going to be active and available during tonight's game, no matter what. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.